And now, since all work is homework, because at home, here's your assignment.
The question, what did it say? Get involved in the economy. Yeah, of course the government should get involved. What do we pay taxes for? Nah, man, you're way off. Like wearing an undershirt under a polo. It makes no sense. What would you have done in 2020 if the government had not got involved? Watch every business fail? Are you joking? Is that what you want? Adam Smith, 1776, knew what he was talking about. Wealth of nations. You need to let a market be unregulated. Let it run free, because when it works well, that's a successful business. It'll thrive, it'll grow, it'll expand, it'll support the entire economy, and then new businesses will flourish just like that. And when ones become antiquated, Darwinism, failure. They fail and it'll be devoured by another business, and something new will come, and we'll only have effective, efficient businesses that don't need to be supported by the government, and we don't need to be constantly monitoring or injecting any life, because they will live and flourish on their own, and businesses will evolve to become more efficient and more competitive over time. Simple, man. Simple. We pay tax money so that services and protections are provided back for us. Sometimes hard times happen, and then the government's there to get businesses back on its feet or to help people with temporary assistance. Yeah, what you're talking about is expense. And who pays for that expense? The taxpayers do, the people at the bottom. Whenever government spends money, that's your money. Why would you want your money to be spent propping up businesses that are failing? Will there be hardships? Yeah, of course. I mean, things are going to go sometimes, and they're going to be ebbs and flows, and there's going to be bad times in the market, but the market will then create new solutions in order to adapt and survive, or they'll reform into something else that we need. If something needs propping up, that means it shouldn't exist anymore anyway. And of course, we're talking about business here. So don't paint me with that negative brush. I'm not saying anything negative at all. I'm saying that businesses will be best when they can run themselves without intervention. What if we had let Ford and GM fail? How would the automakers do? What would that whole region of the country look like now if those industries weren't present? And yeah, I know that things transition from time to time, old industry to new. No one's working at VCR factories anymore. People adapt, but also in times of crisis, the government can be there to levy a helping hand. See, the thing is, whenever we're propping up and getting involved, what are we really doing? We're making business more difficult. We're putting in stops. We're putting in slowdowns. We are really getting in the way, and that's the opposite of what we want for efficiency and profit. We want to be able to move quickly and compete globally and not slow ourselves down and shoot ourselves in the literal foot or the business foot or the pedal of whatever shop we're making. Could be a guitar pedal. I know, it's kind of a bad joke, but sometimes humor is good in a debate. I know it would have to be funny, but anyway, I really think like we spend too much time slowing things down, where then other people go ahead of us because in their economies, they don't slow down their economy because they know it's best to not do that. In countries where the government doesn't help, businesses fail, and not just some businesses, but many businesses, to the point where there's no economic stability, to the point of where there's no economy, to the point where nobody can get wealth, and it can be really difficult for anybody to succeed. Plus, it's a huge slippery slope, and I know slippery slope is a fallacy, but once you help one business, doesn't every business expect to be bailed out later on? When you pick favorites like Ford and General Motors, but then a tech company suffers later on when we all overcome social media and stop using it, should we bail out every failed MySpace that goes out? And I think they still exist. Is my profile still up? Is Danny Hauger music still available? If it's not, it should go down. I don't know. Didn't Justin Timberlake pay a lot of money for that or something? I don't remember. Someone will tell us in the comments. But I just don't think that you can continually expect taxpayers to bail out companies that just are no longer able to compete. They should just let go. A stable economy makes sure investors are paid back and that everybody's satisfied and that there can be fluctuations, but ultimately things continue to rise because a certain amount of stable businesses will be there to employ people and drive economic production. And then who's going to be there to step in and help out when there needs to be some help for the environment or for people's individual protection? Or what about businesses that aren't run ethically? They're not all done in the same fashion, so we need consumer protections. We need there to be safety recalls and last stop measures, and that comes from government intervention, from senators, from laws, from representatives. These are all things that respond in time, not always when we'd like them to, but to get things done to protect people. Businesses are going to understand, and I think they are beginning to understand, that that their role is to take care of the resources in which they sell and the people in which they sell to. They will, in time, know that they need to take care of the resources and materials that become their livelihoods and the livelihoods of their future stockholders, investors, and producing companies, corporations, and areas. So I would expect that in the coming decades, businesses continue to adapt their own new agreements to better themselves and to become more environmentally conscious, because that's what consumers are demanding. The thing is, educate consumers and businesses will supply them with what they need because they'll respond to the needs of their consumers without being told to by their government. And by the way, if you want to keep costs down, keep government smaller as well, and you'll accomplish two things with one chord. And I know I played two chords. It's ironic. I don't even think it is ironic. Ask Alanis Morissette. No, you know what? Stop asking Alanis Morissette. Give her a break. It's a great song. Stop picking apart artists for their lyrics. I mean, you can do it personally, but don't go after them publicly. What's the point? Just like the angry comments down below. They didn't watch this far into the video. Sometimes the government can stimulate new growth, like when President Obama signed $8,000 new first-time homebuyer money that would make sure that housing markets could receive that kind of stimulation, but also first-time buyers could get their foot into their new homes and be able to establish themselves economically, build their finances, and stabilize the country. Yeah, not everything's free. I think we can still be friends. Pretty nice guitar. What do you say we jam? You're right. Let's jam out together and we can be friends. And that's what you said. I know. Debating both sides. Like, share, subscribe, share with a friend. What do you want to see us debate next? Put it in the comment section below. Thank you.